Alrighty, in grammar, we're on page 115. 115. There. Okay. It's up here. We're reviewing today, which is nice. So you already know this. So this is just extra practice. We're talking about quotation marks. We use quotation marks whenever somebody's speaking in a story. The one I always think of is the little red hen. There's a lot of speaking parts in that story. So, she's like, who will help me plant the seed? And she's just like asking everybody for help, remember? So every time she talks, you use quotation marks around what she says. I'm sure you guys know this. We've talked about it before. But there are some rules about punctuation and capitalization when it comes to speaking parts in a story. So that's what we're going to review today. There's two parts to it. The attribution is who's speaking and how they're saying it. So if I said the little red hen shouted, that's the attribution. It's the little red hen that's talking, but she shouted. That's how she said it, right? She's like, who will help me bake the bread, or whatever she was asking, So the part she says, though, is called the quote. Remember? So here's an example right here. This is different than the little red hen, but the quote, it tells you, is the part inside the quotation marks. I like the gift. And then the attribution is the princess insisted. So it's the princess who's speaking, and the way she's saying it, she insisted. That's her speaking verb. Okay. So I like the gifts. The princess insisted. So the quote and then the attribution. And what they want you to notice is always I by itself is capital, but even if it was a different word right here, it would be capital. So anytime you start a quote, oh, here comes Mariah. Yay. You want to capitalize that first word every time, just like a sentence. And then there's a comma. If you see that comma right there on the inside of the quotation mark, that belongs there when the attribution comes after that. And I also want you to notice the attribution, it starts with a lowercase right here. The princess insisted. So here's the pattern. Jump down here on this page. By the way, Mariah, if you can hear me, we're on page 115, okay? In fact, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording since you're here. I'll do that really quick.